Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a great day. Today I'm going to be discussing a half a year of my thoughts about the Steam Deck. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So it's been half a year since I got my Steam Deck, and I have to say it is still really impressive to this day. The amount of different games that you can play in a portable fashion is honestly just extremely impressive. And the fact that I'm able to do it all with a very reasonable battery life as well, I honestly wasn't sure how the battery would stack up this far in, but it's still great. But I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. Let's go ahead and kind of start with the basics. What do I think about the Steam Deck this far in? Do I still think it's worth it? Do I still think they've made enough improvements? Do I think that there is anything that is drastic that they do need to fix or consider for their next device? So first things first, I think the device is still extremely future-proof, more so than I expected. And by that, I mean every game that I've been able to throw on this thing has been able to handle it not a problem. Obviously, with it being a portable device, it still has certain limitations, but the fact that it's been able to run games like Spider-Man, God of War, Resident Evil Village at really good frame rates and really good quality with decent battery life, like I really did not expect to be able to get this much mileage out of this machine, but thankfully the Steam Deck has really proven to hang in there. I just wasn't quite sure if it would be able to keep up, but thankfully it's proved to really hold its own and to be stellar at operating on just about every game I've ran. The other nice thing too is just because a game says it's not supported doesn't mean that it doesn't work, because there have been multiple games that haven't been tested and they've ran like a dream. I haven't had any issues with them whatsoever. I also think it's important to point out that little sort of bugs and glitches that I really experienced in the beginning with the device, I really haven't had as many issues, if any, since the beginning. Honestly, it's all been very, very smooth, and I really haven't had too many issues with any sort of operating errors. I've also gotten a lot of comments kind of asking if launchers from other places like Ubisoft or Rockstar get in the way of games when you're trying to play them on there, and I can safely say that for the most part, the launchers never really bother the experience too much. If there's a game you want to play and you want to try to get into it, you can normally load right in without too much of a hassle. You will still have to deal with the launcher on occasion, but for the most part, it stays out of your way. Another factor I think that is important to touch on with the Steam Deck is the fact that the buttons and the overall design of it is still extremely solid and has remained extremely sturdy, much more than I was expecting. I honestly wasn't sure if I would end up having to replace any buttons or what the build quality would feel like, this far in, but thankfully the Steam Deck has proven to be a real champ in that department, and I haven't had a single issue with hardware. Now, because it's holiday season, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering if the Steam Deck is worth you picking up. And while I originally wanted to just say, yes, you should definitely buy the system, I think it really does depend on a couple of different factors. Mainly, A, do you have a gaming PC? And would you prefer to play any of those games portably? Or would you like the versatility that the Steam Deck offers? For me personally, I've really enjoyed being able to start a game on my PC or on my Steam Deck and then flip back and forth between the two, both either in a portable setting or hooking up the Steam Deck to my TV and being able to play it on there. I think it offers a lot of different options and flexibility, and it really feels like that Nintendo Switch experience that I was originally hoping it kind of would feel like, but the added benefit is that it's all PC gaming. Couple that with the fact that PC gaming just offers a significant more amount of choice, both in the way you play your games and also the games you get to play. Like, if you would have told me that I would have been able to play a game like Red Dead Redemption 2 or Cyberpunk or Spider-Man or God of War in a portable fashion and then be able to simultaneously hook that up to my TV, I honestly wouldn't have believed you, but here it is, it's the reality I'm living in. A quick note, by the way, about Steam Deck and hooking it up to the TV, that experience has gotten so much better to the point where I actually think it's a valid selling point of the Steam Deck. I ended up purchasing the Steam Deck dock alongside it, and outside of a couple of minor hiccups, like I had to switch out my HDMI cords and things like that to make sure I got the best speed, but after I did that, everything has been smooth sailing, and it has honestly been such a cool experience being able to start a game on the Steam Deck and then hook it up to the TV and then simultaneously pull that apart and then play it portably again. It's been very smooth and way better of an experience than I expected. I think one of the biggest takeaways I have from Steam Deck from when I first bought it to Steam Deck now is the fact that Steam Deck when I first bought it did feel a little bit like a product in beta, or it almost felt like a product that was only made for people who wanted to tinker and wanted to really experiment with a lot of different forms of gaming. And I think what it has become now is a solid product in its own right, and something that really doesn't rely solely on the enthusiastic people that want to go out and buy it simply to just mess with it. Now I feel like if you are a consumer and you genuinely want just to be able to have a nice portable experience with your PC gaming, you have that option. I really don't think it's as much of a barrier to entry as it used to be. And while there are certainly amount of good criticisms that the Steam Deck had, the nice thing is that a lot of those issues were strictly on the user interface or the operating system. Like, those things were all basically patchable. And thankfully, the Steam Deck has had a steady flow of updates since the beginning, and it is now so polished, or so much more polished than it was when I first bought it, that it feels like a night and day difference. I think another crowd of people that this is really going to appeal to are people that want to emulate games. Now, thankfully, the emulation experience has been really, really easy and much more simple than I expected it to be. There is still a little bit of tinkering you'll have to do on that side of things, but compared to what you would normally have to do for like ROMs, or if you're getting a Raspberry Pi, this is very much in line with the effort that you would expect to put into it. All in all, the Steam Deck has just remained an incredibly consistent product throughout my time with it. And I still use it frequently enough that I think that if I was going to experience any more significant problems, I really would have got there by now. But thankfully, the Steam Deck has just become a smoother and smoother device to use the longer I've had it, which I can't always say is the case with electronics that I own. But Valve has really taken an incredible amount of time and effort into making this device not only the best possible device it can be, but doing its best to have really goodwill with the people who buy it, and to really interact and let you know that it's a product that they intend on supporting for a very long time. The level of transparency that Valve has shown with the Steam Deck, and acknowledging the things that are wrong with it, acknowledging the things that could be better with it, are really, really refreshing to see, especially in an industry where companies like them tend to act more so that they could do no wrong, as opposed to acknowledging their flaws and shortcomings and really intending on fixing them. And Valve has really shown that the Steam Deck is here to stay, and I really, really feel better about my purchase knowing that the company I bought it from is backing it in a way that makes me feel as though it's an important thing to them as well. Obviously, the main hook of the Steam Deck is playing your PC games portably, but I would argue that an added benefit is if you want the convenience and flexibility of something like the Nintendo Switch, where you can now basically pick up the game on the Switch or on your PC and then want to flip to your TV, or then flip to you playing it in bed. I think that is really the key selling point of the Steam Deck at this point, and I think that overall, that's going to be its biggest strength, is its flexibility. All in all, I think the Steam Deck is well worth the price of admission. The only difference between the tiers, really, when you get down to it, is just storage size. However, no matter what Steam Deck you choose, I really think you're going to have a really special experience with it. And as long as you kind of know what you're getting into, as long as you understand the parameters behind what you're buying, I think it's going to be a device that you will love. And now more than ever, I think it is the best and easiest time to buy a Steam Deck. With all that being said though, guys, I want to know what you think. What do you think about the Steam Deck? Have you purchased one? Are you thinking about purchasing one? Have you had a chance to play any games on it? Comment below, let me know your thoughts on the Steam Deck. I really would love to know. As well, guys, if you like this video, please consider leaving a like. If you didn't, no worries, go ahead and leave a dislike. As always, thank you so much for your support on my videos. And as always, guys, have a great day and take care of yourselves.